Welcome to Playful Podcast, your guide into the underground scene where we discover topics on kink and electronic music every week. Don't forget to subscribe to not miss out on our next episode. We are excited to be here today with South African-born producer, DJ and label owner Leanne Roberts, who's living in Amsterdam today. Leanne is known for being inspired by the energy of her all-time favorites, Jimi Hendrix and Nirvana, and she's known to stir a pot of past, present, futuristic techno influences in her sets. In our conversation, we speak about when she first felt that she had decided to take a serious step into her music career, her decision on going sober and why that happened, as well as why she's decided to not talk about her past modeling career and why this is a sexist problem. Let's go. I am Amanda, and this is Playful Podcast.
We're so excited to have you here.
Thanks.
I feel like, I can never say things 2 times, but we are really excited to have you here. I've said it 2 times now, 3 times.
This is recording.
Thank you for having me. It's good to see you finally after all these months.
Yes, so good. Okay, I'm going to just dive right in because we're excited to get to know you even better. Many of us. So if you would describe yourself using 3 words, what would they be?
Persistence, punctual.
Aye, even better than punctual.
Playful.
Yeah, for sure.
PPP. PPP. Sorry. I don't know where that came from. Sorry, my mind is a bit foggy today.
Did you thought about that before?
No, because it's play, but then it's no.
Do you think I was rehearsing? Some people do.
Oh, I told you I didn't look at the question.
Actually, this is also a personal trait. Of yours, I guess. Spontaneous.
Yeah. I think it's better because if it's like structured, then I get nervous. I'd rather just maybe something silly comes out, but then it's fine.
Exactly.
But also playful. But that actually makes sense. It's Playful Magazine.
Yeah, and you're like, I connect with that. I vibe. But you didn't look at the questions beforehand, which also says something about that you wanted to just be spontaneous and fun, and like you want to be surprised, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's just more natural. I feel like otherwise I'm going to be like, I don't know. I normally, to be honest, like usually I do. But for this one, I think I looked at the first 2 and then I didn't.
I am definitely... I'm in the middle, actually. I enjoy to be surprised, but like still...
But also, like in person, it's different like if you're doing like an online interview, right? But like in person, I feel like I feed off energy normally. So like, whatever, like it will just naturally snowball, I think. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, okay. But because you are from South Africa.
Yeah.
And if you go back and look at who you were as a teenager, who are you?
As a teenager?
Yeah.
A brat.
You were a brat? Yeah. Were you a rebellious brat?
Rebellious, just naughty. But I think a good naughty, more like, rebellious, but very loud. Just like the wild child, always in trouble. But I always look back and I'm always like, I think it was like, I don't regret it because I had so much fun, like they put me like in the A class so I could be like quiet and I'd still just be me, Even my teachers back in the day, they would always like write me like under the table notes, like saying like cute little things because I think they kind of, I don't know, enjoyed it in a weird way.
They were charmed. Maybe.
No,
no, but I mean, you have this energy that is very charming. You can see that there's nothing mean about you.
Oh,
Or
thank you.
no, you have never been a bullier.
No.
Exactly.
No, not like that naughty. Like
Exactly.
just like, I don't know, fun naughty.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I bet that's why
like,
you're.
you only live once.
Yeah.
I don't actually know, but I was always in trouble. But like just kid things, you know. But as a kid, like I was also very artistic. You know, I loved art. I was actually I used to paint, and I was really good at art. What else? In what kind of way? Just give me like an example.
No, exactly
like,
what you're saying.
'cause as a kid, like there's so many different things, right?
Yeah, exactly like this. But I mean, yeah, because were you had a lot of friends and you had easy for the social things?
Yeah. In school, I was very social. Obviously, I was going out at quite a young age, also like to clubs and stuff, sneaking out and all that. But
you liked having fun.
Yeah. But my mom also allowed it. Like she knew, like, but because I was doing so well in school, she allowed me to like just be me, you know, which is also I think was a good thing. You know, I think sometimes parents, you know, they try and make their kids, or they, you know, you do this, you must do this, you must be this, you know, and I feel like my mom just let me be me. And that could have turned out bad, you know, because sometimes you just let a kid go run wild, you never know what can happen. But it actually, I think, worked in my advantage because I was able to become me. And I feel, I think that's just so important. And I see a lot of people now, I've seen in like, I don't know, online and stuff, how parents are now kind of letting their kids decide who they want to be, and you know, and I think that's quite important. I don't know why. Did I answer the question?
Yeah.
Sometimes my brain just
don't worry. No, you don't have to.
Okay.
You just go. Like the answers are gonna be perfect, whatever you answer. Like I promise you.
Okay.
But so your parents always they didn't have any pressure for you to do a certain job, or you know, like they were just seeing where you flowed.
Yeah, my mom. Yeah, there was no pressure. Kind of like, obviously my mom's side was, my dad didn't know anything what I was doing, but my mom always knew. But she would always let me, I think she just trusted me, which was also like further down the line, I was kind of like, you know, I like obviously broke her trust because some little thing she would ask me, oh, where were you? And I would like tell a little white lie, but she like fully like trusted me, which is quite crazy because I was so wild. I'm like, really? You sure? But like, I just feel like also because I grew up where I grew up, I think, you know, it was like kind of tough, and I feel just everything, all these experiences just mold you into who you are. Like, and I think can bring positive, good, what's the word? Can contribute in a good way and also negative, right?
Yeah.
In different like personality traits, if you may call it. But yeah, I definitely think.
You were also on a farm.
On a farm?
No, you had a lot of animals.
Oh yes, how do you know? Oh yeah.
How do you know?
On a farm. It was like, yes, it was like an animal farm. They used to, do you know that song like Old MacDonald had a farm. It's like, they used to sing like, Old Mac Leanne had a farm, and like my parents would like bring like this geese to school, and it would run around the classroom and bite all the children. It was so wild. But no, we had property, but you know, it wasn't an actual farm, but it was like, we had a whole bunch of different animals. Crazy. My mother was very, my mom loved animals. She like gave all her time to them. So yeah. It was very, very fun, very cute.
Yeah. And then how did your musical journey get shaped? Like, where did you start getting into music?
I would say all my life, like I even remember when I was super young, I was the kid that used to phone in. You know, you used to phone in those competitions and you had to like sing, and then like, I don't know, in my country we had those.
100%, yeah.
And then remember you used to get those cassettes. I don't know, obviously, they used the little tapes. So I used to have a huge collection. This was before vinyl, huge collection of those. Obviously I was like 8 or something. When I was about just before going into school, I started my record collection, but it was more like rock and roll Beatles, Jimi Hendrix. Thank you very much. Hold on. And then, I was in the choir. In the school choir. So I was in there for a while. And dance as well. I'm trying to think, where am I going with this question?
Yeah, your musical journey.
Oh, sorry, I'm still going.
But yeah, from Jimi Hendrix to electronic music.
So then in school, like I was going to like all like the all like the events that were happening in our town, because I was seeing like back then an ex-boyfriend of mine who was a big promoter in the country. So, and he was like putting on all the techno events like from Australia. So I actually we'll go obviously going forward where I started production. It was through one of his artists that he actually brought from Houston, which is now a very good friend of mine. So I think I was 16 or so, and I was, going to all these events, and he actually lives in Berlin, I think, Rolf Coleman.
I don't know him.
He's Mobley Records. So
okay.
I was my friend. He had vinyl in his house, so he was teaching me how to play. And
how old were you then?
I was 17.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was 17 then. And started to collect records. I think I said to you it was, rock and roll. I was a huge rock and roll fan, mainly headbanger.
Yeah.
And I was in the school choir, and then I went when I got into Cape Town, I studied music at a school there. But then at the time I was in another profession, so I couldn't do it fully, but I was kind of dabbling always throughout. And then when I moved to LA in 2014, I went to music school and studied a couple of times, and I also studied with one-on-one with the DJ Rap music production. She's old school music producer, DJ from UK. And it just kind of snowballed.
Yeah. Was there ever a moment where you felt like this is what I'm going to pursue?
Definitely. In LA, when I arrived in LA on a contract for the profession I was in before, and it was like a big contract, and it was like everyone's dream. I was a model. Every model's dream to be with this agency and everything, and I literally got there and I just used this. If the agency ever sees this one day, they'll be like, that's why she just gave up, But I was just like, no, I'm done. I'm using this. I literally, as I got there, I started with the agency, I did a few things, and then I just went to music school, and I kind of like, to a point where I actually left after like a year, and I was meant to be on a contract for 3 years. And then I started playing, and I just went full on, and I used that. That was my opportunity, because before I was traveling and I just couldn't, I couldn't do both. I always feel like, especially when you're starting things, like if you want to give it 100%, I feel like it's hard to give two big things 100%. It's almost impossible, I feel, I use that opportunity to go for it. And the best thing. Well, I'm so happy. So yeah.
And you,
it was my number one passion. That I think I would say that was more like a hobby, kind of. But also from South Africa to it's not an easy country, and people, sometimes you can't leave, and like I also with modeling and stuff, I was able to travel and get out and see other things, which was, I feel like, what's the word, like once in a lifetime experience. It doesn't come often, so I don't like regret it, but it definitely, music is my passion. So yeah.
Okay, so that's somewhere when you felt that you needed to choose between modeling and music, you felt like, no, music all the way, and you just...
I don't even think I even thought to choose. I think it just naturally just went...
Oh, yeah? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it just went... I was like, just... Yeah.
Did you have a gig that made you feel like, fuck, I love this?
I actually for me, what I loved the most was the production part. Like I went to Houston, and I went because the artist that I met back in the day when I was clubbing, in Durban. He's like, come to Houston. I was like, he's got decks. I'm like, cool, I'm going to come. I'm going to come play and just, mess about. And then I got into studio with him for 2 weeks straight, did vocals, did leads. He had his friend vocalist come in, we worked together, we made 2 tracks, and I was like, what the hell? That's what made me fall in love with production. I was mind blown, it was, I can't even explain the feeling that I even got. It was nothing compares. But going back to your question, you said, what did you say about, shit, I just went on.
What was it? The choosing between, no?
No, it was, I forgot now. Did I answer the question already?
You answered them greatly.
Okay.
Very great. Yeah, I love it. I'm completely in it.
Okay.
I love it. But
I'm completely
I think it's all...
No, because you ask me, what made you decide, if this is what you want to do? And then I went on to the production thing. But no, the DJ, which gig? So, yeah, I did have my first gig actually in Venice Beach. It was very small, my friend's party. And, but I've been I've had decks in my bedroom for years. So I was always, my friend actually said to me the other day, she's like, Leanne, it's so funny because you said you're going to do this all those years. Actually, I was in Australia now. My friend, I hadn't seen her in 8 years. And before that, I hadn't seen her. And she's like, it's so crazy. You said you're going to do this and you were in your bedroom with your decks. And I was like, yeah. It hasn't been, it's not I didn't wake up and go, oh, I'm going to do this. It's been many, many years since I was 16, I would say, it's been all this, it's been a gradual, slowly. And then obviously with my previous profession, it kind of take a backseat, but it's always been there. When I said to you earlier, I was in the scene with an ex-partner that I was with, and he, so I was very lucky to experience some of the world's biggest, DJs in their true form back then. You don't get that anymore. It's very, you just don't see that anymore. And I think it's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. And you said that sometimes in South Africa it can be hard to leave, and you always felt you love to explore, and you've been living in a lot of different places. What's something that makes you feel at home when you come to a place? Or do you feel at home in any place?
Yeah, that's actually a good question. I think I'm in so many places all the time. Even in my past, I've always lived in different places. So I lived in LA, I lived in New York, I lived in Mexico, and then living here and living in Jakarta, India. And I feel at one point you want to have one home base, because I think it's also very important and it's very grounding. But I don't know, I feel I can, even now, I'm I don't know if I will be living there forever. I just feel, I think home is where you are, right? I don't know. It depends.
No, not necessarily, I think. Sometimes I've been to places and I'm just well, to me, if you would ask me this, I think it's where I feel I have friends, I guess, and something that I feel I have some things to do that I feel I'm a connection.
But do you mean the places that I'm traveling in, or the places that I'm living?
You've been living in but also it can be travel too.
When I lived there, I wouldn't say it felt like home, but I definitely get very deep and connected where I'm exploring the architecture or the culture. I dive deep in. In India, I did some amazing, incredible things that it's just mind blowing.
What did you do?
Whoa. No, I just did spirit. I went to, I did a lot of spiritual things. It's quite intense. I went to this, it's a temple where it's probably the size of this place, and it's got all holes in the wall. But to get there, you have to walk over graves, and then they give you 3 ribbons. On the way there, I was in this tuk-tuk, and they knocked over a goat, and I was crying, and it was raining, and it was so emotional. And then we got there, and then I had to walk over these like sites, grave sites, and then
sounds like bad science, but
let's
see where you're going.
It's not bad. And then eventually, so then you get to this, like it's a temple, like it's got all holes, the walls got holes, and they give you 3 like colorful ribbons. I think it was like red, orange, and yellow, and then you have to find a spot, like, and everyone is pushing, and there's like hundreds of people pushing and shoving, and it's so like I was like in tears, but it was the most the most amazing experience. Then eventually I found this little place, and I ducked down, and you have to make 3 wishes, and then it's like, you know, the belief is that when it gets opened, it comes true. But it's like it's like a super spiritual thing in India that they do.
I don't understand it really. Like, I think it sounds like a crazy, you know, like an adventure for sure, but it sounds like a maze, like you're put in a maze and you're just finding your way out.
No, but it was intense. And then I tired, I was crying. But if I tell you that experience that I had from the beginning, from the hitting over the goat to getting there, it was so intense. But so incredible.
But not everyone hits a No, that's just
no, that was part of the day.
Exactly, part of your day, exactly. But I mean,
sorry. No, man, you can't. No, but oh my god, no, but yeah, no, but I'm saying it was just insane. Anyway, like, but then yeah, but obviously I did. But then, for instance, like when I arrived, it was the god's birthday.
The god?
Yeah, you know the Indian god. It's
one of the gods.
Yeah.
Ganesha.
Ganesh, yes.
Oh,
yes,
how did I know?
And yeah, it's a huge celebration for 2 weeks, and I can't even explain it. Like, no. This little boy, he called me into his little house, and he gave me this banana with this biggest smile on his face, and yeah, I don't know, it was just. Yeah, I did just incredible experiences that I've never experienced. I know that sounds quite hectic too. I have friends that go, and I don't know if we maybe can leave this part out, but I have friends that go. You either like it or you don't. Yeah, you know, it's very intense. But
what's the name of it?
What?
The name of the retreat or the thing?
No, I went to India. I just went there.
Okay.
Because I was working.
But the ribbons and everything.
No, yeah, I will ask. No, it's like a specific. It's like a ritual, not a ritual. I don't want to say the wrong word because
retreat. No,
it's like it's something that spiritual people actually do. It's like what they believe in.
Oh yeah.
And this guy was taking me around and my friend to show us different things, and we just
so sightseeing.
No, this is where people go to do something like real. It's like,
okay.
No, like it's not like a tourist doing it. No. But I'm sure tourists will try. But I think it's a place where it's so local that maybe tourists don't know, because I was taken by a local. Yeah. So it's not like you must go do this experience. No, it's not like that.
It's okay. It's something like
if you want to go to the same as going to the church and doing something. It's like it's like a thing that they actually do. You know, they believe it, and they really they do their wishes. Yeah, it's like a super serious.
And what's the purpose? It should bring peace of
No,
mind?
they put their 3 wishes.
The 3 wishes.
And then those wishes, when it gets untied, comes true. It's like...
Were any of your wishes about music?
Oh my gosh. I can't actually remember what I wished.
No.
I'm not going to lie.
Maybe that's a good thing. You forgot afterwards. They say you should forget, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
At least sometimes.
Well, I have my music tattoo, yeah. Believe. But no. But yeah, I don't know. I probably was. I don't know what I wished for.
No,
it was so like the moment was just. But it was super beautiful. Like it was. I don't know. I can't even. It was.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And speaking of the India and these a bit religious things. Mm-hmm. Did you ever have a religion or a belief somehow? And if so, what was that? Or what is it today even?
No, I'm not religious. grew up. My parents were never really like super religious, so we went to like a Methodist church, but just on Sundays. But it wasn't like, I didn't grow up in like a super religious family. My wife became religious like many years after, but yeah, I'm not religious, so I'm like more spiritual, more like Buddhism, like, you know, I obviously believe in high energy.
Yeah, I mean, that feels so natural if you work with music, no?
Yeah.
You know, you create, and especially as a DJ.
Yeah.
If you don't believe in energy, it's hard to create a vibe, I guess.
Yeah, there's definitely like a higher energy, you know, I think.
Yeah. And
that energy could be, to every person, could be something different.
Yeah.
You know, to me, it could be this. To you, it could be that. It doesn't necessarily mean it's this, you know.
No, yeah. Do you work with that somehow? Like, you know, do you have a practice? Do you have like a morning routine or something like this?
Usually I meditate in the evening. I listen to a meditation, like also a sleep meditation on this app. And yoga. Yoga is amazing. So that kind of also just gives you like that one time to just be present within yourself, right? Because in life, it's very easy to just be like running all the time and, you know, not actually stopping and smelling the roses, if that makes sense.
100%. Yeah. And also I was like, what did you do yesterday? And you were like, I was in Belgium, I think, or before Australia, just before, you know?
Yeah.
It's like,
I know, even right now I'm like, zzz.
Yeah.
This light.
Do you ever get used to that?
Used to?
Like, that,
even my eyes twitching, it's like, zzz.
Is that stress?
No, I don't, maybe it's...
I get it when I'm sometimes when I have been... when it's been a lot for me for
because
some time.
This eyes like
I cannot see it.
No, just quickly did it.
Yeah. You know, but I get it when I'm have been a little bit overwhelmed sometimes. But then it ends, you know, it's nothing. Yeah. I also can get pain in my heart or like the muscles around the heart.
Okay.
I cannot breathe, you know?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I always had it.
Yeah. I was like,
But speaking of like living a hectic lifestyle, as we do, you meditate, you do yoga. Do you do anything more to feel that you are like present within the city you are at, or the, you know, where you're heading, and to be like, you know, to caught up on life, kind of, you know, like to catch up on the hectic life pace?
Oh, you mean like about exercise and stuff?
Not really. I mean, meditation, I think, is such a way of like how to just be present. No?
Yeah, I think the meditation, so the evenings, and I've been told to like just do it like in like for 5 minutes, like breaks, you know.
Some people journal,
but I'm journal. I'm trying, because apparently it's super good for trauma as well.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to get there with journaling. It's, I don't know, I find it quite difficult. But my friend was saying to me, like, Leanne, like, once you do it, you'll be surprised what comes out. And like, I've been told you should do this, and yeah, so I'm getting there. But the meditation, like I battle to do those like during the day, like 5 minutes, because my brain is so active. But the evening ones are easier for me. And then if I go to yoga, then I can really, but also being like fully, you know, one with yourself is also like scary, you know, because you start like think like, that's why even in yoga I get so emotional, because like the stuff that, you know, you should be thinking of sometimes, it's probably better for your health and whatever, you know, you don't, because you're just going
exactly. Yeah.
And it's so important, you know.
Some people do like breath work and these things.
Yeah, like the Wim Hof. I used to do that.
Yeah, exactly. And I also used to do it in the lockdown.
Yes. Me too.
Yeah, it was really good. I think it was helpful to just like relax.
And the cold showers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We were living the same life.
Yeah. What happened? Like now I'm like, I lie down to breathe. I'm like, okay, I'm done. It actually hurts, like because we don't breathe properly.
No, exactly.
If you actually take a real, do you know that I read, like, you know, it's the book, it's called Breath. So, you know, breathing, some ailments that, you know, the ailments that you get when you're older or whatever is actually like it's from not breathing properly. Like it's everyone breathes differently, you know, and the way, like most of the time we're not breathing properly.
Yeah.
But even if I do take a big breath, it's like, oh, that hurts, you know?
I mean, you have been in a choir, so there you learn how to breathe, I thought.
Yeah.
The breath is such a big part of singing.
It's huge, but like, yeah, but that was also like...
Long time ago.
But even I was doing vocal lessons when I was living in LA for a long time. And yeah, but you know, so you do something for one thing and you're running around life. And I don't know, I'm really bad with like applying to remember to like, you know, to link the two, you know. But it's actually, it's crazy, like breath is everything.
It is.
Live and die by the breath. And it's like, and there's this book, it's called Breath. It's amazing.
Yeah?
Like, yeah.
Highly recommendation.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
But actually, breath is also what you mentioned. I was gonna say it's the breath work. It's super emotional for some. I think it's something linked to trauma too.
Yeah.
Because some people like get panic attacks by it. Like it's a way on like recalling them, and also like you can start crying and this. Like it never happened to me, but I hear it's common.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah.
Like in yoga, like I came back the other day and I even said, I'm like, I was actually not scared, but I was like, I don't know if I want to go back to yoga because I was starting to get, especially if I go early to the class, like 10 minutes, I'm lying there, I get also emotional. And I'm like, oh no, because then you're sitting with yourself, like when you never do, you know. And I get so emotional. I was like, I don't know if I want to go back to yoga now because it was so intense. But then it's actually, if you keep going, it's so, you know, it's you working on yourself because those are things you need to be doing, you know. Giving time to you and going through whatever is going through that you need to go through, right? And it's hard. Like life is hectic.
Yeah. Do you feel that that this hectic lifestyle is going to be something you are going to continue with for the long haul? You know, do you feel happy traveling a lot, or do you feel like, I'm not going to be able to do it forever?
No, I think I'm a go.
I can tell.
Like I'm exhausted and I'm like, you know.
You love it.
You know, I'm just like, you know, I'm a bit crazy, but it's like I remember being the kid in school, like crazy. It's just like, I don't know, I think I thrive off it's energies, right? It's just like, you know, I thrive off energies. I feel I feel, I don't think, but also like, you know, they say, when you get older, you know, like if you just stop doing anything and then people, you know, don't pass away, it's because they've stopped doing things. I feel obviously not to be super crazy, but but I'd always think, I think I'll always obviously it'd be nice to have some time to go to the beach and stuff. No, wait, let me rephrase this. Wait, what was the question again?
No, just like
but I feel like I'm going crazy.
No, just the lifestyle, you know, hectic lifestyle.
I think I'm a go.
Yeah.
I really like, you know, exploring and I love learning and I feel like you can never stop learning. If it's music, if it's anything, right?
Yeah.
And there's so many things to explore and learn. So I think fast paced, but also it's good to, you know, have the rest in between. But it's like I think it'll all flow, like it'll come together, I think.
Yeah.
Like
it feels like you have always been like successful in what you've done somehow. That's the view I get. Like I just like also like, you know, you feel like you're definitely eating life up full and whole.
It's so funny you say that because I'm like, if I want to do something, like I just do it.
Yeah.
You know? But it's because I'm competing against myself because I'm like, okay, no, like I'm just, you know, this is what I want to do, but I'll like, you know, to prove to myself that I can do it, you know, and like be better and better. But I just love to learn and I love to, I just love to improve and,
What's your view on success? Like how to attain it?
What's my view on success and how to attain it? But success to everyone could mean something different, right? success to one person can mean like married and happy family with 4 kids, or like, so that's a tough one. But I feel like along the way, people, you know, you have like obviously failures, if you may call it, not necessarily, it could not, doesn't mean it's a bad thing. But I also feel failures on failures is more of a lesson.
Like your tattoo.
How do you know? You know everything already. No, really. But if you actually think of it logically, it's like never a failure, always a lesson. It's like, you know.
I love that. I think it's so, it's
because it makes you also stronger reminder. And it makes you, you know, like if you've been, you know, fail, like, and I'm not using fail in the negative term, but like, it just makes you get up and, you know, go. It makes you stronger. It makes you hungry. It makes you motivated. And then all that leads to success in whatever way success is, whatever success means for you. You know, it, like I said, I think it could mean different to like everyone differently, right? And to attain it, you know, I would say, you know, just keep working on like working hard and being persistent is like, for me, that's the number, like that word is like, that's me in like a nutshell. Persistent and
persistence. But can I ask, because being persistent, do you ever feel then that like, did you ever feel like quitting, or did you ever feel like it's really tough right now?
Yeah, sometimes like, yeah. Like,
and then you just push yourself, or how do you work in those situations?
No, there has been times definitely like, oh, I can't do this. You know, everyone goes through that. I think it's normal and natural.
Yeah, what happens in you then?
What do you mean? Like
what happens? How are your thought patterns when you are in a challenging moment? Do you just like motivate yourself to keep going? Do you take a break? Do you know?
Oh, like if I'm working?
No, if you feel like you're struggling for some reason with motivation, and you feel like, fuck, this is really tough right now. I don't know if I can do it. Do you then take a break?
I think I just, like I have been in a position where I'm like, I can't do it. I could like, you know, like crying, like, and you're just like, you can't do it anymore. But then that little thing on like my head is like, you know, you can do it, because I feel like, you know, also your mind is such a powerful thing. It's like that time when you're going through that, it's just your mind like tricking you, I feel, you know, or it's just like, not tricking you, but you know what I mean? I feel I just overcome it. Yeah, I take a break. Like if I'm working in the studio, I'll take a break. I live on the park, so like right on the park, so I take a break. But no, but we all have these little things on our shoulder, like you can't do it, you know, and it's just like, it's just about, I don't know, willpower and just like, you know, if you want something so bad, like, I don't know where I'm going with this. Wait, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like,
no, like, you know,
I maybe should have read those questions.
We have now come to the part of the podcast where if you are or want to become a Patreon and support our work and what we do, as well as get more juicy material, go to patreon.com/playfulmagazine. And in this extra material, we're speaking to Leanne about what focus does for the career choice, how one can think when feeling lost and not having a clear path, and what she thinks is missing in the techno scene at the moment. Listen to it to go to patreon.com/playfulmagazine.
You know deep inside of yourself somehow that you want to, so you take a break and then you find the way again.
Yeah, I just think, you know, having those doubts, it's more of a doubt, like, I can't do this, it's life so because it's, you know, I'm sure it's a natural thing. It's just a doubt, and then you just got to pull yourself out of it and get cracking, because, you know, like, if you don't do it, no one else is going to do it. You know, you just have to, right?
Yeah.
But then it's just also, that's also just like a doubt, and a doubt is always going to be there, you know, in everybody, you know, you just got to be like, you know,
shut up. Yeah.
It is like, you know, I think it's part of life, right? I think it's,
definitely.
kind
and
of
the
a
voice
natural
will
way.
keep getting smaller and smaller the more you learn how to handle it, right? Like the more you, but
yeah, it's all about, it's just about, like, I feel like your mind, like work, like yoga, like just working on yourself and getting yourself, you know, you only have one temple, right? And just if you can get your mind like healthy and your mind strong, like anything is possible. Like even if you have that, you go, no, move on. It's just such a powerful thing. Like since I've stopped drinking, I know like we spoke about this earlier, like I can't explain. My mind is like, you know, before last year I was, it was.
Yeah, let's go there. So you've been
pretty.
sober for 6 months.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. Was there a decision where you decided like, fuck, I'm going sober? Was there a day or, you know?
Well, I've been trying to for like a long time, and because alcohol doesn't agree with me, and I decided like 6 months ago, okay, I'm going to do a cleanse, like just 2 months. And I started drinking non-alcoholic gin and non-alcoholic beer while I was at like the clubs. Like actually, Berlin has an amazing non-alcoholic gin, super good.
Oh, really?
I was having these alternatives, so I was having like the taste and the action, but no
reward.
You know, no.
Or like
maybe that's not a reward. It can be a reward, but for me, no. Like, yeah. Again, it could, you know, yeah.
But for many people, it is, you know,
the
feeling of that's the addiction of alcohol, right? Like the feeling of the reward, the feeling of calming down, the feeling of, you know.
For me, it's like dizzy, like the feeling of, you know. Like,
yeah, some people really enjoy like zooming out of life a little bit because life is freaking intense sometimes, right?
True. I think I didn't, that feeling, I didn't obviously in these 2 months realize that I actually didn't like that feeling. I like more of like the taste and the action, you know, and not the feeling. And it's just, it was 2 months and then it was like so good. Like my mind, my work, my energy, just everything was just so clear that I was just, I don't know. I even said to myself, I can't believe I didn't do this sooner. But again, it's like everyone's different, right? So
was it easy for you to quit?
Yeah.
Yeah, from one day to another, and you were like...
I actually, like, it's going to sound crazy, but it was super easy. Like, I was saying to someone the other day, I said it was like, I can't even, like... And then I was saying to my other friend, because they're trying to stop, and they said it's super hard. But again, I think... But also alcohol, and it was making me behave in ways that was really bad. So like I really had to get my shit together, if that makes sense. You know, my friends can go out and drink and have, you know, be normal. Like alcohol, like does something in my brain.
Flipped something in you.
Yeah. So I had to be like, you know, you need to try this, or it was a mind thing. Like it wasn't like I just. You know, it was a serious thing from like trauma, like it was becoming, and then last year it was really bad after I went through a lot last year, and it just got worse, and I was like, so it had to
like
be done.
On the private life.
Oh yeah. Well, so my mom passed away, and it just got worse, especially with the drinking. Then the stuff that would come out, like it was insane. Like I had to.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you keep on working in your normal pace after?
I actually think I worked more.
Yeah.
I worked so much that I was like last year, I was like in the studio like 18 hours. I wasn't eating. I was just working. Like it was really bad. That was really unhealthy. Like, yeah.
Trying to think of something else to deal, like too much emotions to deal with at once. So distracting yourself somehow.
Yeah. I think I just used that energy like, from the negative into like which is maybe like I was neglecting myself because it was really bad. People were really worried. And then also the drinking on top of it. So it was a lot. And I just channeled the energy, and I'm still doing that. I'm still not processing that really, to be honest. So I'm still channeling the energy. I'm finding my time slowly, but.
Yeah, maybe that's why it's hard for you to journal then. Because you're like, I'm not ready. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's some things like need to take time.
Yeah, and right. You know, like even if it's like 1 year, it's still short. You know,
that is short. Yeah,
but I just was like some people even say, like Leanne, like you know, and all that stuff I accomplished, maybe it and again, it was like, could be a good thing, but it also was, I was also not being healthy to myself. But that's also stopping the drinking now, going back to yoga and doing, you know, being more kinder to yourself. It really is the most important thing, because if you don't have your health, what do you have, right? You have nothing.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, do you think a lot about like what you eat and these things to be able to keep on with the lifestyle you have? Because I hear that a lot. Like that a lot of touring DJs, they are like suddenly they need to like stay to a certain food schedule.
I'm actually, to be honest, I'm eating really bad. Really bad. Like airport food. Like today, I just had like a bagel and a banana. That's it.
Okay. So you are not there yet.
No, I need to be more.
Like some people cook, like they put portions of like, you know, I don't know, vegan food in small boxes and they bring them with them. But I think a lot of people also are gluten intolerant.
Yeah. And also like, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. But but I need to start doing that, because I go to the airport, there's like nothing to buy. It's I'd rather not eat than eat that.
Yeah.
You know? So maybe I should start doing the packaging. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. But if you wouldn't be a musician, what do you think you'd do?
Criminologist. I was actually going to say first I wanted to be an archaeologist, but then a criminologist, and also did you ask me? You asked me what I would do if I wasn't doing music. Criminologist, lawyer, like.
Okay, yeah,
but also the other one was going to be a therapist, because I feel, as much as it was never on the cards, but I just feel like people always just come to me, and I love it. I think I do. That's a passion. I love people come to me like a therapist would, and I just give it the advice, and I really have a passion for that. It's crazy, because I didn't think I did until last year.
So people come to you with their struggles.
And a lot of artists that I've never met, and I absolutely love helping and giving advice, and like it's insane. Like,
what advice do you give?
I won't go too in depth, because you know it's a lot of people have come to me with things, and I just feel I really have it like a deep passion to do that. But with the criminologist and lawyer, like I've always like crime, and it's been my passion as well. So I'm a bit of a psycho when it comes to that kind of stuff. It's like yeah.
What advice do you give them? Like if someone comes to you and they're like, "Fuck, I feel so lost. I don't know," because this is.
It depends what the question is.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Like,
I'm gonna give you a good question that I actually heard yesterday from a friend.
Okay.
So she was like, "I feel lost. You know, like my work is." Within writing, and suddenly I don't get any jobs because AI is taking over a lot of the and I feel like I don't know what to do. Like this is what I know how to do, and suddenly there are no jobs, like freelance jobs. And she works for really big magazines and is really, really talented, and she's like, I feel lost. What would you say? Like, how could you find a passion, or like, you know, what could you do to trigger yourself into becoming passionate, finding a purpose?
Oh, she's not passionate anymore.
She cannot. Yeah, no.
Oh, but if someone's like lost their passion, then yeah, that's like
go get a new one.
Go get a new passion. No, I always say like the first thing I say is like what do you like? What do you like? What do you enjoy doing? Like I have a friend also. She's saying she doesn't know what to do. But I said like just write down 3 things that you like to do. Doesn't have to be a passion. Doesn't have to be a hobby. Just that you like doing. If it's brushing your horse's hair or, you know, anything, just write them down, and you start that simple. What do you like to do? You know, and you work and you start there. It's that easy, you know.
Yeah.
Not that easy. That's
where you can start. And
like actually, what do you enjoy? Because I think it's so important, you know, back in the day when we like, you know, when you're young, you're like, okay, you must be a lawyer, you must be this. But then, you know, it's always this, there's always that saying, you know, you love your job, where most people, you know, don't like their job because they're just doing it because they've been doing it for many years, or their mom told them, you know, I'm talking about back in the day. Now it's different. Now people just do. And I feel like to do your, like, if your job can be your passion as well, like, why not,
Yeah.
And it's not like, it has to be boring or it has to be, you can make something out of it if you want, it's like.
The best advice I ever got from anyone was from a woman who told me when I felt lost, she was like, always do what you think is fun. And someday that's going to lead to something. Like, it's possibly not going to be the thing you envision or, but it's going to lead to something that is even better. If you just follow what you always, like, what you think, like, do a course for something that you're interested in, just like,
Yeah, exactly. Like, do a course, like my friend during lockdown, she was struggling and, she ended up doing like a lot of online self-help courses. I even did some with her to like help her through some things. And I also took out some course, and it's just like, why not, I feel like knowledge is power, I guess. And I feel, if you enjoy something, you can, and it's also I feel like it's never too, late to start anything.
No
matter
definitely.
what,
Definitely. You mentioned a lot that you're competing a lot with yourself. And to me, that implies that you're maybe not comparing yourself too much to others, but you're focused on like where you want to head, and you're like to improve yourself.
Yeah, I think like obviously you're going to look at, because it's like human nature, right? But when I say like competing in myself, it's because you can always improve. You can always be a better version of yourself. So why should I be looking at somebody else to be like, to compare when when I can just better myself to where I was, I don't know, but I also have a different mindset sometimes of that. Maybe it doesn't make sense to other people.
It does make sense.
Oh, okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
And
but obviously saying like you always, as human nature, we're always still going to look like to the side, like it's just normal. And it's also like not saying I've never compared, we all go through those moments, especially, in life, we all go through those moments. It's not like, unnatural, but I like to always just bring my focus back to kind of what I stand for, and just like better myself and be better than what I was, just learning more. And like I said, like you can always learn, like there's so much to learn, like you can never stop learning, especially in music. You can never stop learning.
Yeah, this is one thing. Like you also mentioned that you have been a model, and I know some other female DJs who have worked as models before. It's a topic that they prefer not mentioning often, because like some men in the scene can claim that the success is because of the looks. What's your view on this?
Well, this is the thing. I was like, before I was asked, and I was like, I don't want to speak about it, but because people, it's like, how can you be a model and a techno artist? Like I see like horrible comments. Oh, just this. Oh, she was a model before, and like, so what does it mean? Like you can't like have like more passions or more talent. Like people like, I don't know.
Skaters and DJs.
Oh, we could name millions of different things, right?
Yeah.
But in this industry, it's very frowned upon. Oh my God, she's a model. Maybe, I don't know, like I just have always been scared. So most people, like with my following, right? So I got a lot of obviously I built up a following with music in the last couple of years, but my base of my followers were from my previous profession. And I'm sure people were like, oh, how does she, I've even been told by like many, not many, I don't want to say many, in the beginning of my career, it was like in 2019 when I was kind of in the European scene. I remember like somebody was like, oh, like I wanted to send my tracks. I'm not mentioning names, but to my tracks to this label. And they were like, oh, we don't sign like Instagram models. And I was like, what? Like I'm not an Instagram. But also I had all these followers. I just started. It like looks. And then, but then also I'm like, well, why? And I've always had to feel like I need to maybe explain to people, okay, well, this is why I've had these followers, because of this profession, because most people in the music industry maybe see me like, oh, she just got on the scene. How does she have this? And then I'm like, I always felt so like I wanted to cry, like it was horrible. And I've always wanted to like, just like cannot speak about it. But then I also feel like, why do I also need to explain myself? And I've heard a lot of stories like, oh, well, this girl didn't want to like, I don't know, said something about you because of the follow. It's been a thing. Like, I'm not even kidding. I'm like how shallow are people? And it's like, you don't know what I've done before. Like, you know, like, and I had a very successful career and I don't regret it. And it was amazing. And it's got me to where I am now. You know, what does it make a difference? And I think I wanted, like before I was like, oh, don't ask me, don't tell me, don't ask me what I did before. I was like this up until a couple of months ago. Now I'm like, why must I not be proud of that? You know, just because I was model doesn't mean I'm not a good artist or good producer. Like that doesn't even make any sense. What, you just born to do one thing in your life? It's crazy.
Yeah,
I actually got goosebumps just because it makes me so upset. Yeah. Actually, like, yeah.
It's because it's the sexism and the thing that women have heard all the time is like, you know, the way you are dressed, it's implying that you want something. That's another thing that is not so far away from this topic, actually.
But why is there such a thing as but even like, you know, like even after, like, but I've never been one to like wear, like, you know, like, showing a lot of skin, right?
And if you were...
But trust me, like, even if I wanted to, sometimes I've been very careful, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't, you know, because I was a model, and then it's like a big thing. So it's like, but I would love to know what is this problem with techno and model? What is the problem?
What is the problem?
Maybe there has been people I don't even know of, that's maybe, you know, gone out and maybe used that. But that's not even I don't see that. Maybe that's I don't know, somewhere else. But maybe I'm sure there has been people that have used that to do that.
I think it's just simply sexism.
Yeah.
It's, in my opinion, it's nothing short of. Like, it's just a way.
It's so, like honestly, it's funny you ask me because... Like, I never like, and it's like other people don't want to talk about it because it's people like, I don't know, but like I don't see why you can't be talented in more than one thing. And anyway, they're both art. Like, it's not the same job, but it's, you know, it comes from the same form. It's, you know, it's from the, you know, artistic, they're both art, you know, in different ways. Like, I don't know. It's very strange. But now I'm like, you know what? But obviously, like, even if people say, but if you hear me, I always go from my previous profession. Like, I'm so used to saying that. I don't say, oh, I was a model. I'll say, over my previous profession. But it's like, why? You just like, now it's like, I'm trained to do that because I was so scared to mention it. But
yeah.
It's not logical. How can one person be born, only have one talent? Okay, so you're born, you only have one talent, that's it. You know?
And it's never the same. Like, comparing something when a woman has looks and skills, it's always very intimidating, I feel. Because then it's like oh,
but being a model, like, sorry to interrupt you, that is, you know, like, people, it's not easy. You don't just go stand there and look, it's you have to get into character. Like, you can be the most beautiful person and not be a good model. It doesn't necessarily mean a model. So it's also rubbish. It's like, it's work, it's hard work, it's talent. It is.
Of course. Of course, yeah. But I think, like, this is something that is obvious to everyone who...
They just think, oh, she's pretty, she's a model. No, it's not that easy.
It's only another way to control women, you know, to talk about it as something that's like, you know, this is only a way to push people down who are successful and good at what they do and who have high standards and high goals and achievements, you know?
Yeah.
It's only because the thing is, if I ask you, how many women use that against you and how many men?
Yeah. Like, to be honest, I don't really speak about it. So I just know not to.
Yeah.
You know, because, well, with this, and it's actually like a really, you will know who she is, but it's like more like from the older era. And she was just like, I don't sign Instagram models. And I was so, like, that's, I think, where it started. And I thought, oh my God, I'll never mention I'm a model ever again. This was right in the beginning. And that was a woman.
Really? That's so, I'm like, it's not fucked up because she's also living in a patriarchal society.
And she's actually a well-respected artist, and it's actually really upsetting.
It is,
and I hope I meet her one day, and because because she basically just judged me from you know, and I was never an Instagram model. That's a total different ballgame.
To change it, I'm gonna sneeze. A hay fever. To change it, it takes women like you who stand the ground, who show that you have talent and that you were a talented model as well, you know, and who just speaks about it. I think that's what we need to be able to change this sexist bullshit. Because why can men be good looking and high achievers, and I bet they don't say, oh, you're an Insta model, right?
No, exactly. Honestly, like, you know, it's like it got me to where I am today, and I don't regret it. And yeah, it was, but I always felt like so ashamed, you know, like, and why should I feel ashamed? Like, it was, you know,
you rocked it.
It was like, it took me, also I come from a little town, like not like the best area in like the middle of like nowhere, you know. It's very hard to like, you know, and you know, that gave me the opportunity to, you know, spread my wings and explore the world and live in all these crazy places and amazing places and meet these amazing people and you know, grow from that and become more, you know, street smart and just everything. Like why would that's part of my journey, you know. If it wasn't for that, I would, you know, this all wouldn't have happened, you know. So
you carved your way.
So now you're saying, oh, you're a model, but that was actually, you know, you don't know where, you don't know people. You know what's upsets me? No one knows people's lives and what they've been through or what they're going through, and they just love to just judge, and you know, it's just people.
It's what it is. But
that's why, I just
yay to the change. It should be like, at least it's changing slowly, but sometimes I feel like hearing somehow you decided 2 months ago that you're not going to be ashamed of it.
Yeah, because I was asked the question as well, and then I thought, oh, you know what, I'm just going to, because also I feel like, you know, there were little things that I heard about like my followers, and I thought like, I actually wanted to like do like a post and like talk about my past. But I actually was thinking, but then somebody says to me, but Leanne, you don't need to explain yourself. But I was like, but then you get under pressure, you know. But yeah.
No, you're awesome. You're awesome. And I mean, what you said, like, I mean, it's not like someone is carrying you out of your house and fanning you, and that you are just like, on the pictures, like, you know, come on. Anyways.
It's so funny.
Anyways, moving on.
It's either this or it's that. This is this or that.
All right, so this is the this or that question. So you answer like one of the alternatives or both or none, but preferably it's one.
Okay, choose one, that's it. Okay. Okay, that's easy.
All right. Introvert or extrovert?
Extrovert.
Obviously.
Yes.
Sweet or salty?
Sweet and salty depends on my mood, but let me go with salty today.
Yeah. Cigarettes or joints?
Cigarettes.
Tokyo or Tulum?
Tokyo, but I've never been.
Me neither, but I would say.
But I've been to Tulum, and it's overpriced, and Tokyo for sure.
Yeah. Front row raver or VIP area?
Front row raver.
Yeah.
Why did it take so long?
Sometimes
it depends, because it's like, okay, if I feel like a cigarette, maybe I'd like to be in the VIP. You know, because sometimes you can't. Because there was a recently, you could like, oh, Australia, because I don't smoke. Like, I've stopped smoking. I was smoking like a lot, but I like to have a cigarette after I play. And I was like, in Australia, you can't smoke anywhere. And I'm like, what? So imagine, like, in that situation, I would be VIP, but maybe probably couldn't smoke there anyway. But yeah, anyway, carry on.
Psychology or spirituality?
Spirituality.
Tinder or meeting at a bar?
Meeting at a bar.
Yeah. Religion or atheism?
Excuse me?
A religion or atheism?
Like atheism?
Atheism, yeah.
Religion or atheist?
Yeah, religion or atheism, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you can say none.
Oh, I can't say none. Okay. Yeah, well, atheist is like, yeah, none.
None. YouTube or Netflix?
I think I boycott Netflix now, so I'm going to go with YouTube.
Yeah?
Because Netflix is like not a lot of rubbish on at the moment. There's like nothing. But YouTube, yeah, YouTube.
YouTube. Daytime or nighttime raver?
Daytime.
Daytime. Thank you so much.
This was it for Playful Podcast this week, but please follow, subscribe, and listen to our next episode. And if you want to have a say about future artists, or even ask your own question to one of our guests, follow us on Instagram and make sure to add your question when we lift our coming guests. Thank you so much for joining, and see you next week.